Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Going into part 3 of today's episode of Nebula Jazz. Let's see what's going on upstairs in the old spaceship. My normal inclination here would be to cut away, but I'm too excited to see you get knocked in your ass. So in your weird alien approximation of a genetically engineered cow insect creature themed suit, you
I have
climb.
4 extra arms dangling, not being used.
Yeah, just hollow, empty, floppy, noodle arms hanging off the side of the suit.
Yeah.
You have a full complement down the front of you of horrendous, udder-looking things. And then we can see your little gold face hidden under this scratched up, shitty spacesuit mask. You can see on the inside of your HUD that the spacesuit has not been charged in some time. The battery meter is blinking red with a single-digit percentage of available breathable material. And as you climb out onto the deck, there's a moment where you feel kind of vertigo because the ship continues to drop.
Right.
And you can see the walls around you kind of flying by. The toolbox has a flashlight in it, so you've got it turned on, and you're looking around, and your boots attached to the outside of the ship.
I find it really satisfying because in the moment that he shut the door on me, I really wanted to stomp away, but it was kind of hard to do because the outfit was so big, and now the suit is basically doing it for me.
Yeah, totally.
I feel like I'm getting a lot of aggression.
Inside, Basil, you can hear Artemis having a minor temper tantrum on top of the ship, just walking around clunking. In fact, you could just walk around in circles on top of the cockpit for a second if you want to.
Yeah, I'm not going to because I have a single-digit amount of battery left in my suit.
Exactly. Okay. All right. So somewhere beyond, out in the dark on the top of the ship, is the damaged dorsal stabilizer. And you have toolbox and flashlight in hand, everything a young Mingasi urchin needs to fix this ship. What do you do?
Can I tell what's wrong with it?
You're still at a bit of a distance. You got to climb up there. There's not a lot of visibility because remember, there's a lot of steam in here from the melting ice, and you're having to wipe your mask a lot.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll get in as close as I can.
Okay. All right. So you start to head across the top of the ship, through the clouds of steam, and in the beam of your flashlight, you can see the dorsal stabilizer, and it looks like it's been bent hard to one side. There's some sparks coming out of it. The ship kind of jostles slightly, and I'm actually going to add a scene aspect, unstable surface. And I'm going to add one for limited visibility.
Okay.
So these are just present in the scene that you're in. So you are making your way across the surface, trying to get close enough to see the dorsal thing in detail. And as you approach, that's when you hear a noise behind you. You hear something clatter across the deck behind you.
Okay, I turn to look.
Okay, so you turn the beam around. And you see only steam and maybe a trail of slime atop the ship.
Okay. I'm going to try to just focus on fixing the stabilizer so that I can get the fuck out of here.
Okay. How are you holding together? Do we hear you breathing
Oh yeah, totally.
in the helmet?
Yeah, you see it from through my eyes. You see it fog up and fog up and fog up.
Right. So we can see your eyes in reflection. You keep having to wipe it with the back of your hand, and it keeps saying stuff to you in Bove, right? It keeps just being something warning or something. It keeps repeating itself every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk back over to the thing, and you set down the little kind of it used to be chrome. It's all rusty now. Box, and it attaches to the ship and folds out these little glass sort of or plastic bubbles, and they're all scratched and opaque. But the toolbox opens up, and you've got your flashlight, and there's the toolbox there, and you've got the pad, the big hardened pad with the manual on it. And there's the stabilizer, and it looks kind of an antenna or a a fin with like a light on the end, and the light's cracked and the thing is bent sideways. Yeah. And it looks like something hit it. Like there's like collision scratches on top of it.
I think that I would assume that first thing that I need to do is bend it back the way that it was.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can create an aspect for a tool that like does basically what my boots do and like suctions to one side, suctions to the other, and then I kind of like crank it to like slowly push it back the way that it was.
And you can make an aspect just for like the whole toolbox, like appropriate tools for the job, right? So let's have you make a I mean, you're making the best out of a bad situation. Let's have you make a difficulty 2 clever roll.
Okay.
You got 1.
Yeah.
Now, you can do it if you want to. But you're basically just taking a point to bank a point for another roll later if you spend one of your points. If you leave it, that means that you don't get the aspect, or I think I can create it and use it. I get to use it against you once, but that you still have the toolbox. Yeah, create an advantage. Fail. You do, but I get a free invocation.
Okay, so I still get to determine what it is, but you get to invoke it if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, cool. So it is a Fargle brand A+ toolkit. And Fargle does not make good toolkits. I get a free invoke on this one. Not you.
Everyone knows
they're the right tools, but they're not very well made.
You don't buy a Fargle. If you want good tools, stay the fuck
from
away
Acme.
Yeah. All right. So there is a Fargle brand toolkit. You look at it, and it's got the picture on the cover or on the front as it opens up of the company mascot Phineas Fargle. And he's wearing his like tuxedo, and he's like, Fargle tools, they're magic, and like a little dove like flies out of his gloves as he disappears as it opens. And there's just like a bunch of like rusty wrenches and like weird like socket things. It's one of them looks like it might be an electric toothbrush.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to try to fix this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we see you with your big like 3-finger hoof gloves trying to like pull out the right tool, like looking at things and getting ready to fix it. And behind you, we hear a wet kind of like thumping sound. And maybe you don't hear it, right? This is the dramatic irony. Something is moving towards you, Artemis, while you're focused on these tools. So we cut over to the elevator, and Luna and Rex and a dead body and a big bloody smear on the wall. And there's just some like cheerful music just playing as the elevator slowly makes its way up towards the penthouse.
Okay. It's like this surreal moment where like the music's playing and Rex is kind of like awkwardly like tapping his foot, and he kind of reaches down and he picks up like an energy axe and kind of like switches it on, and the blades come out, and kind of like nods and then kind of switches it off, and his hands swing back to his side, and he's just kind of like looking at the numbers as they go up.
Luna, are you saying or doing anything?
I'm just like staring straight. Just staring straight, just not saying anything. The whole time.
Just like going up in this other.
Rex is also awkwardly silent. He's just like looking at
the body on the floor groans slightly, like he's just like in pain.
Actually, I want to use my stunt.
Okay. All right.
As he does that, as he's like playing with a knife, I grab it from his hand if he lets me. Do you let me grab the knife from your hand?
Sure. It's an axe, but yeah.
Or the axe. The axe.
It's a large battle axe made of energy.
Okay, fine. I grab the axe from your hand and I bring it down on the guy to finish him off as he groans.
Okay, there's a spray of blood up onto the wall.
And then I want to use
the camera's actually like on Rex, but like waist up. And so you just hear the noise, and then you see like some blood hit Rex's face and like the wall. But he doesn't like flinch.
Just kind of drips off your face.
Yeah.
And then I'll like motion to the axe like you can have it back now. And then I want to examine this guy's body, and I want to find an aspect about these goons.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. And actually, then that's exactly the use of that stunt. So you'll get a +2. And you were doing this carefully.
Yes.
So let's say difficulty for you for this. Let's just call it difficulty 2.
What?
That's bad.
Oh, what?
That's a bad roll, Luna.
Why does this keep happening? Why are my rolls so bad? I'm sorry, but I'm gonna use good news, everyone. Good news. This is for science, okay? I'm discovering an aspect. And that should put me at 2, I think.
Okay, great. So yeah, so that'll put you the difficulty you need. Let me tell you about this one. So goons, they have let's see what we would call these, like a loyalty encouragement surgery. So they've had something done to their brain, and I love that you're doing like brain surgery. Basically, you're doing an autopsy in this elevator, and you cut open the dude's head, and you find there's a little chip inside that you recognize as a loyalty encouragement installation. And this is something that is true. They have it's a little like a radio frequency thing that would I guess theoretically let someone control them either directly or enforce loyalty from them. And
Okay.
you're aware of those things. Yeah. Cool. Okay. And you get a free invoke of that. So when you need to use it, you just tell me how, and you'll get to make a reroll or add a +2.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So, it doesn't take you very long. You just kind of dig this out of this guy's head, and Luna stands up and is holding this little chip covered in like blue blood, basically goop and bits of brain. Do you react at all, Rex, or are you just like?
He takes the axe back and kind of wipes it, and he doesn't. Kind of just looks at her, expecting her to explain what that is.
I just go, interesting. And then I put it. Well, I don't really have a pocket, so I just I put it in my with the ironic. Yeah.
Was that your last fate point, or did I already take the point from you?
I think that was my last.
I think that was your last one too. Okay.
And I put it in the bra, and there's like a little smear, I guess right here of blood. But then I take my hands and wipe them off on Rex.
As you do that, Rex kind of nods, and he's like, "You got blood on you," but there's blood all over him. And then he just turns back to the numbers on the elevator and just watches them.
Yeah. So, instead of numbers, there's just a bunch of kind of arcane alien sigils.
Yeah. The only bit that is universal is the dial. Right?
Yeah. Something is going up. And it comes to a stop at the penthouse. And as the door starts to open, we cut back to the surface of the ship, and Artemis, you are leaned over, kind of digging through the tools. Your suit is blinking, warning at you. What are you gonna do? You want to try to repair the thing?
I'm still trying to fix it. Yeah.
Okay. So you can actually make the roll to repair it.
Okay.
All right. So you can make a careful roll if you want to fix the dorsal stabilizer. I'm gonna say difficulty 4. Careful, Artemis.
Okay. Oh.
Pretty close. Do you have an appropriate aspect that might help you in this situation?
Could I say a hopeful Mangasi urchin, because I have faith that if I just keep at it, I'll be able to fix it. I have hope that I can fix it. No.
It sounds like some bullshit to me. It's if I'm not gonna let Pokket get away with that shit, I don't think I can. I'm hopeful enough. I could do it. which is to say anything at all ever. Give me that +2, you fucker. Yeah, not so much.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have anything that can help with this.
Okay. All right. So you're like kneel down. You're just like, what is? I don't. God. And then that's when the thing hits you. You feel something wet and heavy and kind of slimy crash into you and like knock you over. And we see just like a big kind of Jim Henson-esque wet fur blob like crash into you. And then just like tentacles like wrapping around your arms. Something like pushes up against the front of your suit. And it's a big like sucking like mouth thing, and it's trying to like chew through your mask. And then we cut to the cockpit, and Basil, I think you just see this happening. Like you see on the camera Artemis get hit by this kind of furry meatball creature. And it's just like wrestling with Artemis. And you can hear Artemis's like feed over the over the
what the fuck?
Do you ever say anything?
I'm picturing the suit as like a mascot suit of like the guy on the side of the van.
It absolutely is. Yep. The alien thing, the like parasite thing that's attacking you, is like, imagine if you were making like meatballs one day. You're making meatballs out of like some kind of grayish meat material, and you dropped one and you didn't notice, and it like rolled under your stove and just picked up all the stuff under your stove, and it was just like moldy. Just like lived there for like a while and slowly grew some form of primitive sentience, and then crawled up from under your stove and tried to murder you in your sleep.
Sure.
That's what you're currently dealing with.
Okay. How big is it in relation to me?
Like a little smaller than you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the suit gives you some bulk you didn't have before, but yeah. And so it just kind of like throws itself at you and is trying to like absorb you. What are you going to do?
I want to grab a tool and stab it. Okay.
So you like reach out for the Fargo brand A+ toolkit.
Yeah.
And grab a random tool and try to attack it. Okay. Make a forceful roll.
Oh, forceful. Damn.
Oh no. Oh shit. Well, good thing you're attacking and it's defending. Because all you managed to do is nothing. What do you grab instead of like? There's lots of stuff that could be in a toolkit, like a big heavy wrench,
that's what I was
or like
gonna
a plasma cutter. What is the thing you grab that is not the thing?
I grabbed like those like circular bristle things that you would clean out like a cup with. I grabbed those, just like
a toilet brush and just smashed.
Yeah. Basically just brushing it.
Fantastic. And yes, that is the worst forceful roll Artemis could possibly get. That is the opposite of Sam's roll from earlier.
Yeah.
And so you're just like hitting it with this toilet brush, and it's like grabbing
the suit doesn't
around the
fit
wrist.
me, and I'm discombobulated. Okay.
All right, so it's gonna attack you. Let's see how it does. It gets a 1. How do you defend yourself?
How is it attacking me?
It's trying to consume you. It's just like wrapping itself around your arm and like trying to suck you into it and like get all around you so it can push you into its internal stomach and start dissolving you.
Okay. I'm gonna say that like as it's trying to like wrap more tentacles around me, I'm trying to like put my hands in between the tentacles as fast as I can, just like push them off, so that I maybe can like create an opening for myself to like wrestle.
Trying to be like slippery and hard to grab. I think quick applies there. Okay. I'm gonna use the free shot I have on the Fargo brand A+ toolkit. So as you're trying to get away, one of the tentacles reaches over to the toolkit and grabs a wrench and starts bashing you in the head with it. So you like try to crawl away, and one of the tentacles reaches over, gets this wrench, and just like bonk bonk bonk, and like cracking your face mask. So I'm up to a 3. You can spend a point if you want to beat me.
Yeah, I mean I'll use a point.
Since you're getting attacked, you can just fill in one of the boxes, one of your stress boxes.
It's only 1. So it wouldn't be. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I guess I will. Okay.
All right, cool. So yeah, it just starts cracking your your mask and like bashing you against the deck and just trying to like drag you into it.
Meanwhile, all the like he hears in the cockpit is me going, "Help me!"
So Basil, I think you actually see the thing throw Artemis on top of the cockpit screen, and you just see like Basil for a second, and then get dragged back up onto the.
Basil is staring dead into like space, and presses a button on the button that Artemis pressed earlier. That was the big like music button. Mm-hmm. Presses the button, and all of a sudden, over her comm system and throughout the entire ship is another one bites the dust. And that's all that just plays over and over again. And he just goes back to flying the ship.
Boom, boom, boom. And you're just like dragged away. Oh my God, Basil, you bastard. Oh boy. So okay, what are you gonna do, Artemis? Basil's of no help. You have an opportunity to do something.
I'm flying the ship.
Yeah, it's true. You get shit going on.
Am I still? I don't know. Am I still within range of like the toolkit?
Yeah, the toolkit is still part of the scene, so you can always use a fate point to use it as an aspect. But yeah, this furry meatball is trying to kill you.
Is there? I guess I would have to create an aspect for this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anywhere on it like anything that seems like an eyeball or like a thing that might be
it has many exciting orifices. It has lots of mouths and there's a bunch of different eyeballs. Yeah, definitely.
I just want to try to stab it again.
Sure.
That's
yeah.
Like all I can think to do.
You got the broken off like metal end of the toilet brush, and you just want to like roll over and jab it in the eye.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, make a forceful roll.
I'll never get a forceful roll.
I know, it's so good. Okay, yeah, no problem. So you just like stab the thing, and it just kind of sucks the piece of metal out of your hand, just eats it. And now it's just it's like crawling up on top of you, and we see you kind of like trying to pull yourself free, but you have a big wet blob on top of you trying to like pull you in. So meanwhile, while you're struggling for your life, Luna and Rex are still on the elevator. It has finally like reached the top, and it dings, and the door opens. And you step out into Scorn's penthouse. The room that you enter is fairly Spartan. The whole back end of it is a big single piece of glass, or whatever, space glass, and you can see the icy surface of the planet. There are we get treated to a nice long establishing shot of it. There are vents that kind of gout green like vapor into the air. There's all these like nasty looking spikes. There's various like pieces of like vent and pipe material kind of coming up out of the snow and then going back down into it. And and as you emerge into the room, you can see that Scorn has decorated with all sorts of trophies. We can see that, and maybe I don't know if your characters. I mean, you wouldn't be startled, but maybe we get a kind of pan suddenly to this thing. There's a huge taxidermied lizard man standing on a pedestal, going like ah, and it's got like a spear in its chest, and it's like grabbing the spear. And there are like weapons all over the walls, various like rifles and swords and stuff in cabinets. It's like a sort of safari, like big game hunter's room, if that big game hunter was like a Klingon. You step out into his penthouse. It's a big like open kind of area. But he's not like waiting at the door for you or whatever. What are you gonna do?
I step out and I'm just like, I never did like his style. And I look around and I'm like, this is his room. I don't know what you're looking for really, but I figured maybe you'd find it here.
Rex just starts turning shit upside down. Like he's just like ripping drawers out, like everything.
Okay. All right. So you kind of like ignore Luna and push your way into the room and then just start like ripping the place apart. Okay.
Yeah, because he knows they're on a very tight time frame.
Yeah. Okay.
Right now.
Make a to discover what's hidden in here. You're gonna have to make an overcome roll.
Okay.
In this case, you're trying to do it quick. So make a quick roll, and let's say difficulty is going to be. Let's see. It's called difficulty 3. All right, Rick. You're gonna need to spend a fate point. Now, remember, you have a stolen map of the fortress that Artemis rolled for earlier. So
Is that gonna give me +2?
It could give you a +2, yeah, if you want to use it.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So Artemis, even though maybe the map isn't great, it's going to help. So Rex,
Okay,
how does a map of the fortress help you find a hidden room?
We cut back to Artemis and like glowing, like, all right, I managed to get this map, like, check it out. And Rex is kind of like he's busy with something else, and he's like, no, look, I'm serious. And Artemis points to the like his room, and he says, look, there's like blueprints here for a second room, but there's a wall. I think that might be like some kind of secret room or a vault. So it could be there. And he kind of like remembers this, and then he's like feeling around on the wall.
The whole time you're like not acknowledging me at all.
I'm just thinking,
oh, that's so good.
the flashback is super hazy.
It's
and
literally
like
me like pacing around super excited, like, look, and right here, and there's this thing, and you're just like,
and
what?
when Rex is remembering the flashback, he's actually remembering Artemis just going blah 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 blah.
Well, yeah,
blah,
and
blah, blah.
that's what I was wondering. So what does the flashback show us about your relationship with Artemis? Like, were you pretending not to pay attention but actually remembering all of it, or just like coincidentally remember like one part of the conversation?
I think it's coincidental digestion of
sure,
the
like
tail end of
subconsciously.
the conversation. Yeah.
Awesome. I like it.
And Rex just kind of grins to himself, and he's like, "Good job, kid." And I think he like there's like the corniest like brassiere hanging on the wall, and he just gives it a tug, and
yeah, cool.
Swings open.
Yeah, he's got these really sort of scary looking like torch sconces, and you pull on one.
Yeah.
So Luna, what are you doing while this is happening?
I'm watching.
Yeah, you're just like looking.
Just watching, and I'm like looking at like my watch, and just I look back at him and I look at my watch, and I'm just like, how long is this gonna take? So, I don't help because I have no idea what he's looking for, and I mean, maybe like after he's turned some things over, I start to like look through like the papers and stuff that I find, but I mean, other than that, like, unless I find something unique, I'm just like, whatever. I don't really need any.
Just picking things up and throwing them away.
Yeah, I just like,
Okay.
no.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so a panel kind of like slides open in the wall behind a big gaudy like fireplace. And all we don't see what's beyond yet. We see Rex, and we just see golden light. Like like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. We just see like light shining on Rex's face. And then we cut to the outside of the ship while Artemis is being slammed around. So Artemis, the parasite creature, is continuing to try to consume or murder you, and I get a 3. What are you doing to defend your feeble life?
I'm trying to just like evade as much as I can. Like, I'm just trying to not let.
When we cut back, it's you standing kind of like you've gotten enough free, and there's like, you're covered in sludge, but you're standing there with your hands up and the two of you are kind of like circling each other, and you're like trying to like get past it, and it's trying to like lend
like swinging out with a tentacle, and I'm like,
it's still menacing you with the wrench. Okay, all right. You can make a quick roll to try to defend yourself. And I still have a fate point for the scene. Okay, so we're tied. I'm definitely going to spend the point to bump up to 5. Do you want to spend one of your points, or do you want to take another stress, or do you want to take a 2-point or like the first slot of complication?
If I spend a point to meet yours, I don't really get anything out of it, right?
No, it just means that you don't take the hit.
It just means I don't get hurt.
Yeah.
I'll take another stress.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fine. So what that means is you can take one more hit before you have to start taking complications.
Right.
Okay. So it's your turn. What are you gonna do? It's kind of got you boxed in. You're maybe like at the back end of the ship, and we can hear the sort of popping kind of the big engine. There's a sort of dome-shaped thing sparking off blue lights, and you're kind of getting back towards it.
Is there any way that I can rush to the hatch to get on the ship?
You want to try to just like get past it and make
because I don't think that I can beat this thing, and I don't think that I can fix the ship. So I'm like in self-preservation mode right now. Like I just need to get out of here. Yeah. So remember, you can do basically at any time if you want to give up the fight to be like, no, I can't beat this thing. You can give, and I will be like, okay, cool, let's work out what happens. And it's not going to be good for you, but it won't mean you're knocked out of the fight in a bad way. Like I won't have total control. So you can make this attempt, and then if you fail before I make my next roll, you can be like, you know what, it's fine. The thing beats me. But okay, let's have you make a roll. We'll do your quickness. You roll quick, and I'll roll. It's just like generic stat, and if you beat it, you can get past it into the ship. Okay.
Right, so you got a 2. Let's see how I do. I think you're faster than yeah, you've got an innate +1 higher than me. So let's see how I do.
Okay.
All right.
I'll definitely spend a point.
So what aspect are you going to use?
I'm going to use that I'm an urchin. I've had to like run away from situations a lot. Mm-hmm. So I know how to spot an exit to get away from somebody.
Yeah. Also, unstable surface and limited visibility would also be of use to you here too. If you didn't have an aspect for that, but you do. You've got a running away one. Okay.
Right.
All right. So what does that look like? You managed to trick it, or I mean, you're not being sneaky or clever. So you're just being fast. Describe how you scramble back onto the ship.
I want to say that because there are like all of these arms on the on the suit and everything. And it starts to like grab at places where I'm not actually there. And I see like a point where one side of him like reaches around and it winds up with an opening where I can just like dart by him, or as much of darting as I can do in this suit, and try to get back on the ship. Okay.
Sure. So you run past it. You'd be much faster if you didn't have this lumbering piece of junk stuck to you, but you'd also die. So you go running and dive into the ship, and it chases you. It follows you. So you like drop down into the airlock, and the thing kind of like climbs down in after you. Its tentacles drop down into the ship, and it pulls its meaty mass down into the airlock. On the other side of the double thick metal airlock doors, Basil is cruising the ship. Basil, you hear Artemis tumble down into the airlock. And Artemis, what are you doing? Are you like shouting? What's happening?
Yeah, I think I'm like, hey, Basil, there's a really gross organic on the ship right now. You should probably come kill it like soon-ish.
Are you compelling Basil, Doctor?
Can you compel me?
Yeah, you got one fate point left.
Compelling your hatred of organics.
Now you can, Basil, you can say no. You can be like,
no, I totally. You know what? Artemis is absolutely right. Basil, while listening to Another One Bites the Dust, is like on the ship and presses a button, and it activates the slaughterhouse function of the ship, in which the back, because it's for cows. The back of this cargo bay is actually a slaughterhouse.
Of course it
suddenly,
is.
Like, and Acme level like bump 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 like
Yeah. So suddenly the room that you're in, Artemis, is full of spinning blades and like grabbing arms.
This is not what I wanted.
So yeah, so these big arms come down and start snapping and like buzzing. Basil, let's have you make a roll. Let's get a oh my god, that's so perfect. Let's get a difficulty 2 flashy roll from you. And if you succeed, we'll create an aspect.
Great.
It's
Okay.
It's pretty flashy.
I guess.
And yeah, you've got 4 points. So
Yeah, I definitely want to spend it on slay the meaty ones.
okay,
Because
there you go.
it's not cool that he's on my ship.
All right. So now, Artemis, you've got some help, kinda. The meat sensors have activated. The ship is now in slaughterhouse mode, and blades are just like coming in and like moving around, trying to cut up.
Fortunately, this isn't the first time I've been in the slaughterhouse area when he's turned it on, probably trying to kill me.
Yeah, now you can use.
Would never.
All right, so the thing follows you in. Blades start to come out of the wall. The floor opens up into sluice mode, tilts slightly into the center, and Basil, all you have to do is flip a switch, and you're back to driving.
Now I'm just back to driving.
Excellent. All right, so we cut back to Rex and Luna, and Rex. You see beyond a special room of Mingasi artifacts.
Mhm.
It seems Scorn has been collecting bits and pieces of the fallen Imperium. You see on one wall, it's a sort of hexagon-shaped chamber, and on one wall there's a big, slightly burnt Mingasi banner. Imagine like someone's like creepy secret like Nazi artifact room, like you think that he's a totally normal like New Hampshire English professor, but then you go to his house and he's like, "Would you like to see my collection?" And it's like all like weird like fascist artifacts. Just like a big banner. There is a set of like crossed Mingasi force pikes. And in the center of the room, floating in an energy field, there is a single Mingasi like a data crystal. It's just like floating, all gold and beautiful, in the middle of this protective energy field.
Okay.
Just have it.
Rex's his eyes go wide, and his catchphrase "bingo," and he reaches for the crystal. That's not his catchphrase. I don't know why I said that. He reaches for the crystal.
No,
Bingo.
but as he says bingo, I'm like, the dog?
It was a dog, you Philistine. So you step into the chamber and just like walk towards the floating data crystal. Luna, you see this, and it looks like Rex is about to jam his hand into a force field. It's going to be bad. It'll set off an alarm, or it might burn off his hand, and he doesn't seem to notice. He's driven here.
I got like a notepad from within the room, and I got like a pen, and I'm like looking at it. I'm like, yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
And I'm, like, jot notes down.
I was waiting to see if I needed to compel you to do nothing. So you're just like,
Yeah, just waiting. Like I'm just waiting. Like, are you going to do it?
okay. So are you just gonna jam your hand in the field?
I mean, this is. I mean, there's probably been 1,000 of these things I've fucking
This old
stolen from
hand.
in the past. Like this ain't the first force field, and it ain't the first crystal. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So make a forceful roll. Let's say difficulty 4, I think.
All right, that's a Uno.
Okay, got 1. That's a number that you
That's
could.
That's certainly a number.
Let's re-roll that with the retired outlaw.
Great, because this isn't your first force field hand jamming situation.
Exactly.
Got it.
Hand jammer, mama slammer.
Just stick your hand in there, no problem.
4.
There you go. All right. So it hurts real bad. It's like a laser pain inducer field. It's not good for your hand parts. What does that look like when you jam your arm into it?
See, here's the secret. They hurt real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the pain that makes you think, shit, I'm going to lose my hand or something, right?
I see.
It's all an advertising hoax.
It's a gum Jabbar field.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Stick your hand in the box, Rex.
Tried and tested. And if you're brave enough to get in there and grab what you want, it's yours.
Cool.
All you got to do is overcome a little bit of pain mentally.
And I'm just
Rex-
ready to fall down.
Yeah, and every moment of Rex's life is pain, so he just grabs that shit.
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
Such
Perfect.
an edge
I love it. Yeah. So what
Oh,
we all see is Rex put his arm into the field and grab the crystal, and his arm like immediately lights on fire, and it's like a really bad, low budget, obvious prosthetic, and it like starts melting and burning, and like we can see his bones. But it's all in your mind, Rex, and we just see you like grit your teeth and like pull it out of the field, and your arm is fine. And you're holding on to this crystal, and that's when, Luna, you hear the elevator doors open again, and there are a bunch more goons, and they surround their boss.
Rex
the warlord
is
Scorn.
also aware that every single one of these fields comes heavily alarmed.
Yeah.
So he just didn't care.
You turn and look past Luna, and Luna, you see these goons get out, and Scorn, who you haven't seen in some time, right? He's been off world. He shakes his head and through a scowl says, "Robbing me, Luna?"
Don't be silly. Can't you see I'm taking notes?
And he scowls and he says, "What did this old pirate promise you? Treasure?"
Promise me nothing. I mean, he broke me out because you wouldn't let me out, but he promised me nothing, and now I'm observing his pain and taking notes. Apparently, he can do this when your goons can't.
And he scowls and he looks past you at Rex, and he says, he sees the crystal in your hand. He says, "Oh, so that's what it's about. The map. Well, I hate to break it to you, buddy. It's incomplete. I think it's a fraud." And he scowls and he says, "But you're not going to live long enough to find out. Boys," and like gestures, and his goons all like raise their weapons, and a fusillade of laser fire heads in your direction. But before you get destroyed by that, let's watch Artemis get cut up by buzzsaws in the hold of the ship.
No.
So Artemis, what are you gonna do? There's a big scary monster in the hold now, and there's also blades. The blades have made everything more fun. What are you gonna do?
I think that I've been in this situation before. Never by choice. And so yeah, I want to hop, like it's like Super Meat Boy up in here. I want to like hop over blades and like jump over areas that I know are safe. Like I've been on this ship long enough that I know what areas things come out of, and I want to just like make my way to
I love that
the
your
door
character
of the
lives-
cockpit.
I love that your character lives a life where this isn't the first time that this robot has tried to kill me with blades is a thing. So the door is sealed, right? It's in
Yeah, but I just want to be like
evisceration mode.
Yeah. Because there's a way to activate all of this like from this little nook that leads to the door. So there aren't any blades like right inside of this door area. So I want to like make my way over there so that the monster is just in there with all of these blades and I'm out of harm's way.
Okay. All right. So what mechanics do you want to do? Do you want to make an attack using like clever or something to like let the room hurt this thing and not you? Or do you want to try to get out of the room, like or turn off the blades? What's your goal for what you're doing?
I mean, I would like for this thing to die.
Okay,
so if
yeah.
it's,
So
if it's still like, if it's still
with...
trying to come at me,
Of
maybe
course, yeah.
maybe I'm like jumping around in a way where it's like gonna
you're
definitely
just trying to
hit
like
blades.
lure it into the blades.
Like loop it around. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So make a quickly roll, and I will oppose you.
Shit, God.
And that's your good one too.
That's my good one. Like,
Okay,
what the
so
fuck?
I'm gonna roll. I got a this is for it to defend. Okay, so you're tied. If you want to use Slaughterhouse Jive, you can. You can use the setup that Jesse gave you.
I will.
And take a +2. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Look at that. You hurt the thing. There's his first injury.
Finally.
So it lunges for you with the wrench to like bash your face in, and then a blade comes down, slices one of its tentacles off, and it flops on the deck, flopping around, clutched around this Fargle wrench. And then the rest of its body throws itself at you and tries to crush you against the door.
Uh-huh.
So I got a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just throwing its whole bulk at you to try to jam you up against the wall. What do you do? How do you try to avoid that?
I want to. Is it big enough? Is it big enough that it would like could I duck?
Yeah, you could try to like throw yourself out of the way, and it'll like slam into the wall or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. Cool. Make a quick roll to dodge out of the way.
Oh God.
You're short one, and you're out of fate points.
I got nothing.
You gotta take that last stress box, or take your first consequence.
I guess I'll take my first consequence.
Okay. All right. What do you want to call it? Slightly tenderized?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beaten to a pulp.
I like that. Let's go with it. We'll stick with the meat puns. All right. So slightly tenderized, and I get a free shot on that later, and it's a consequence. Cool. Okay. So, yeah, you get pinned up against the wall by this big hairy meatball, and you feel the suit like crush against you, and it wraps its arms around a couple of the bars and just like pins you to the wall. And of course, it's the door with the porthole, right, that leads into the cockpit. So Basil, you hear a crash against the door, and you look up, and you can see the mask like pinned up against the porthole, and then just this graying kind of hairy meat blob up behind her. Like,
I like choke out. It didn't work.
Do you want to do something?
Yeah, I'd like to use my. I like to use my slaying the meaty ones to realize that this entire room that they're in right now is in fact a slaughterhouse. Mm-hmm. And two things: one, slaughterhouses always have some sort of taser system in which to subdue the beasts, and two, Dodger's suit or Artemis's suit is primarily rubber. So I'd like to activate the taser system inside the room.
That's a very clever plan.
Everything.
Yeah, just tase everything in the room.
Tase
Perfect.
Everything in the room.
And it completely makes sense that the suit would be like made out of cheap rubber. And yeah, I like it. Okay, cool. All right. So let's see how it goes. This sounds like a clever plan to me. Yeah. Basil. So make that clever plan, and you want to hurt before you roll. You want to hurt the thing, but not hurt Artemis. Right. Let's call it difficulty. Let's call it difficulty 4. Yeah. Look how clever you are. All right.
He is a robot.
Cool. Yes. All right. So I'll roll for it to defend, but you did good. All right, let's see how it. Oh, nice. Okay, so you fry the thing, because I don't have any fate points that I can use for this. So you just you toast it. What does it look like, Basil?
It's holding on to all the metal in the room as it's trying to like mash up against Artemis, and then all the stun functions of this room go off, and just like it vibrates and it shakes and the door shakes and Artemis shakes and everyone's just like electricity's flowing through the room and then it just sort of like lets go and falls back into all the buzzsaws and all of the like weird metal sluice things and just like gets shredded and the whole room is covered in meat sauce. Whatever it is, this meatball sauce.
What's great here is that like we see it's all kind of off screen so we can keep the rating like reasonable. And we see the blades that come down and blood and stuff spray everywhere. And it sprays all over Artemis's face. Artemis, you're like lying on the ground, your suit's smoking. Right. And when we see you like wipe some of the goo, the fluid off of your mask, we can just see there's the machine. The machines have done their thing. The blades are slowing down. There's that kind of ticking sound of a circular saw turning off. And there is like a thing on the wall that's just extruding gray sausages into a pile on the floor. Just like bloop, bloop, and there's this like pile of sausage like piling up in the middle of the room.
That's like the only sound that happens for a few seconds. And then just like in the cockpit here, he just hears me go, I hate you. I really hate you.
There's a pause, and Basil replies, "You didn't fix the ship."
It's true. Yeah.
Man, the man doesn't lie.
All right. So yeah, Artemis, are you gonna climb back up there and try and finish the job?
What's like the battery life on my suit at this point? I'm so fucked up, Adam.
So all you have to do is we can elide it, right? Because the joke was like, can you survive the thing and then get rid of it and then fight it, and that it led into that whole goof. So basically, I'll just get you to make a roll now, one like clever roll, and if you succeed, you can fix it and just like we're done. It's fixed.
If you fuck it up, you die.
We explode into the atmosphere.
First episode, you can make a new character. No, but if you fail, it just means you can't get to the core and you have to land the ship somewhere else and then find your way there elsewise.
What's
the ability to fix it? We'll call it 2. We'll give you even shakes. There you go. Look how clever you are when you don't have an alien trying to pull you inside out.
Yeah, look, I was really distracted.
Yeah. So that's what we see. You just like look at the thing. You're just blood everywhere and there's a pile of sausage, alien sausage on the floor. Oh my God, that's a good point. Quintessence of me pointed out the suit was just tased. The battery's charged.
Yeah.
So you look at the battery and it's like there's the meter. There's like 30%, 60%, 100%, and it's like above the meter.
Yeah.
You just like climb back out and we see it. Yeah, great. So meanwhile, back in the ship, I need both of you, Luna and Rex. I need the two of you to avoid being shot. You're getting blasted by a barrage of laser fire. So Luna, first you, how do you defend against this? What do you do?
He has this giant statue, and it's of some creature that is just very. It's not a lizard man. It's just very brutish and hulking and huge, and it has like 4 arms, and it honestly has giant muscles, and it's basically like a 4-armed orc, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right next to me whenever I see them like point their guns up, and I basically like dash behind that.
Okay. Yeah. Totally. So let me go on top of that. So it's a big hulking 4-arm thing, but it looks like it's got like a shell or something. It looks like a pangolin or a like an armadillo. And as you run to dive behind it, the Scorn is like, "No, you idiots! Not the photon armadillo!" And they're like firing towards it. And let's see if you can get there fast enough. So roll your quick.
Okay. Are you serious?
You got a 0, and I got a 3.
Oh.
So yeah, I think you end up behind it, but you get hit beforehand. So you got to mark a stress box.
Okay.
Also, Artemis, don't forget to clear your stress. You're still slightly tenderized.
Right.
But
my stress is gone.
Yeah. And so the reason that he was like, "No, you idiot, it's not the photon armadillo," is that they fire and they hit you, or maybe some blasters hit in front of you, but a couple of guys fire. They lead you to try to hit the armadillo, and when they hit its surface, its scales, the lasers just like ricochet directly off, and so one of them flies up and hits a light in the ceiling and blows it out. Another one flies back towards them, and the guy has to duck as it flies over his head.
Yeah.
And then Rex, what are you doing? You're getting shot at. What are you gonna do?
Rex, when he hears the words "you're not gonna make it out alive," immediately he gets a flashback to a similar situation. Rex is gonna use his stunt.
Nice. Okay.
To recall a scene from his past.
So as they draw their brutal-looking laser weapons, bristling with grisly trophies, ready to gun you down where you stand, Rex waxes historical, and we'll take a break here. And when we return, we'll take a journey down memory lane with old Rex and see where we go. Yeah. So stick around. We got another hour of Nebula Jazz coming right up.